Someone in your office is currently living a $10,000 a month lifestyle on a $5,000 a month salary, and the only reason you're feeling like a failure is that you're the only one who still believes in the laws of mathematics. Right now, there is a person sitting 3 desks away from you who just bought a car that costs more than their annual take-home pay. They just posted photos from a resort that costs a month's rent per night, and they walked into the break room wearing a watch that represents 6 months of aggressive retirement contributions. You see the leather seats, you see the sunset photos, and you see the gleaming stainless steel appliances in their newly renovated kitchen, and your brain immediately tells you a lie. It tells you that you are behind. It tells you that you're doing something wrong. But what if I told you that the person you're envying is actually one missed bonus away from total financial collapse? What if the rich coworker you're comparing yourself to isn't actually rich, but is instead a world-class professional at managing the appearance of wealth while drowning in the reality of insolvency? Today, I am going to show you the hidden math, the secret safety nets, and the invisible debt structures that allow people to look like millionaires while having a net worth of 0. We are going to deconstruct the office illusion once and for all, because once you see the scaffolding holding up their lifestyle, you'll never feel small in that parking lot ever again. Before we pull back the curtain on this collective hallucination, I want to ask you something. Have you ever felt that specific hollow pit in your stomach when you see someone younger or less experienced than you flash a level of luxury that simply doesn't add up? If you've ever looked at your own bank account in a panic because the world around you seems to be playing with a different set of rules, you need to be part of this conversation. Hit the like button right now to signal that you're ready for the truth, and subscribe to join a community of people who are tired of the fake wealth theater. By subscribing, you're choosing to build real, lasting freedom instead of a temporary costume. Comment, "I'm done with the trap" below if you're ready to stop the comparison game today. Your engagement helps push this reality check to others who are currently spiraling in silence, thinking they're the only ones not making it. Let's break the cycle together and get into the numbers that your coworkers will never tell you at lunch. The fundamental problem with the modern workplace is that we are constantly forced to compare our internal reality with everyone else's external highlight reel. You see your own student loan balance, your own grocery bills, and your own modest savings account. But when you look at Rich Greg from marketing, you only see the 2026 Audi. You don't see the 84-month loan at a 9% interest rate. You don't see the fact that he rolled $7,000 of negative equity from his last car into this one. You are comparing your middle of the book to his glossy front cover, and it is destroying your mental health. This is the middle-class trap. It's a psychological loop where the more you earn, the more you feel pressured to signal that success to your peers. In the 1950s, you only had to keep up with the Joneses next door. In 2026, you have to keep up with the Joneses, the Kardashians, and every single person in your LinkedIn feed. The pressure to perform wealth has become a second job for most Americans, and it's a job that pays in stress and debt. Let's talk about the first layer of the hidden math, the debt scaffolding. Most people believe that to live a high-end life, you need high-end income. That used to be true. But today, credit has become the great equalizer of appearances. We are currently living through the democratization of luxury. You can go onto a website today and buy a $3,000 designer handbag and pay for it in 4 easy installments using buy now, pay later services. These services are the invisible engine of the office parking lot. When you see a coworker with a new wardrobe or high-end tech, there is a statistically high probability that they are still paying for last year's Christmas gifts. The average American is now carrying over $8,000 in credit card debt, but that number is often much higher for high earners who have higher credit limits. They aren't buying these things because they can afford them. They're buying them because their credit limit allows it. They have confused access to liquidity with actual wealth. They are essentially renting their life from the bank, and the interest is the tax they pay for their own insecurity. But wait, you say? My coworker doesn't seem stressed. They seem happy. They're taking vacations. How is that possible? This brings us to the second layer, the invisible safety net. This is the one nobody talks about because it's embarrassing for a 35-year-old professional to admit. A massive percentage of the luxury you see in the world today is subsidized by the bank of mom and dad. Recent data shows that nearly half of young adults receive some form of financial assistance from their parents. This isn't just help with a down payment on a house, though that's a huge part of it. It's the invisible $1,200, It's the parents paying the car insurance, the family cell phone plan, the health insurance, or just Venmoing a few $100s for groceries every month. When you're trying to figure out how a junior analyst afford a downtown condo, the math usually involves a 20% down payment gift that would have taken you 10 years to save on your own. You are running a race with a backpack full of rocks while they are being driven to the finish line in an SUV, and they're acting like they're outrunning you. It isn't a level playing field, so stop judging your speed based on theirs. Now, let's escalate this to the ugly truth of the high earner poverty trap. There is a specific phenomenon where people making $250,000 a year are actually more financially fragile than a teacher making $60,000. Why? Because the $250,000 earner has lifestyle floor requirements. They have the private school tuition, the country club fees, the 2 high-end car leases, and the jumbo mortgage. Their nut, the amount of money they need just to stay at zero every month, is so high that they cannot afford a single week of unemployment. They are high income, but low net worth. They are essentially hamsters on a very expensive gold-plated wheel. If they stop running, the whole house of cards collapses. This is why you see people with dream lives looking absolutely exhausted and miserable. They are slaves to their own status. They don't own their things. Their things own them. Every new purchase is a new link in the chain that keeps them anchored to a job they might hate. If this is hitting home, if you've noticed the cracks in the gold at your own workplace, take a second to hit that like button. It really helps us reach more people who are trapped in this comparison cycle. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. We're building a movement of people who prioritize financial freedom over social validation. Your support means we can keep bringing you the raw data that the luxury world wants to keep hidden. So, what is the insight here? The insight is that wealth is what you don't see. Wealth is the car not bought, the watch not upgraded, the first-class ticket not booked. Real wealth is the freedom to say no. It is the ability to walk away from a toxic boss because you have 2 years of expenses in a high-yield savings account. The person with the shiny car and the maxed-out credit cards has no freedom. They have to say yes to everything. They have to tolerate the stress, the overtime, and the disrespect because they are one paycheck away from the repo man. When you look at your modest car and your growing investment account, you are looking at true power. You are looking at the ability to control your own time. Let's look at the actual math of the quiet millionaire. The largest study ever done on American millionaires found that the majority of them drive used cars. They live in average neighborhoods. They buy their clothes at normal stores. They are invisible. They are the people you walk past in the office and think, oh, they're doing okay, while in reality they have 7 figures in the bank. They understood a secret that your rich coworkers haven't figured out yet. You can either look rich or be rich, but it's very hard to do both at the same time early in your career. Every dollar you spend on a status symbol to impress people you don't even like is a dollar that cannot work for you. It's a dollar that won't compound. It's a dollar of your future freedom that you just traded for a temporary hit of dopamine. The solution to the comparison trap is to shift your metrics. Stop measuring your success by your burn rate and start measuring it by your freedom ratio. How many months could you survive if your income went to 0 tomorrow? That is the only number that matters. Greg with the BMW might have a freedom ratio of 0.5 months. You, with your 2018 Toyota and your emergency fund, might have a freedom ratio of 12 months. Who is actually winning? Who has more peace of mind? Who is the one who can sleep through the night when rumors of layoffs start circulating in the office? The math doesn't lie, even when people do. Here is the reinforcement you need to hear every single day. Your worth is not tied to your consumption. We live in a culture designed to make you feel inadequate so that you will buy things to fill the void. The entire advertising industry is a billion-dollar machine dedicated to making you feel like your current life is less than. But the moment you stop caring about the opinion of the guy in the next cubicle, you become dangerous. You become free. You start making decisions based on your long-term goals instead of your short-term ego. You start investing in assets that pay you instead of liabilities that cost you. You start building a life that feels good on the inside rather than one that just looks good on Instagram. Let's talk about the compound interest trap. This is the part where the math gets really brutal for your coworkers. If you take the $800 a month that someone is spending on a luxury car lease and you invest it in a simple index fund starting at age 25, by the time you're 65, that money has grown into over $3 million. That is the price of the BMW. It's not $800 a month. It's 3 million of your retirement. Your coworker isn't just spending their salary. They are literally burning their future to look cool in the present. They are trading their 60-year-old self's dignity for their 30-year-old self's vanity. When you see it through that lens, the envy disappears. It's replaced by a profound sense of pity. You realize that they aren't ahead of you. They are sabotaging themselves in slow motion. Now, I want to give you a replicable strategy to exit this game forever. Step 1. Perform a status audit. Look at your recurring expenses and ask yourself, am I paying for this because I actually enjoy it, or because I'm afraid of what people will think if I don't? If it's the latter, cut it immediately. Step 2. Automate your wealth. Set up your 401k, your IRA, and your brokerage account so that the money leaves your hand before you even have a chance to think about spending it. This is how you build invisible wealth. Step 3. Change your circle. If your friends are constantly talking about what they bought, find new friends who talk about what they're building. Your environment dictates your normal. If your normal is debt and display, you will follow suit. If your normal is saving and freedom, you will become a millionaire. This is the path to true success mindset. It's not about having the most, it's about needing the least. The person who needs the least is the one with the most power. They are the ones who can take risks. They are the ones who can start the business, take the sabbatical, or move to the city they've always dreamed of. While your coworkers are shackled to their desks to pay for their lifestyle, you will be out in the world living yours. If this video has given you a sense of peace or a new perspective on your financial journey, please share it with one friend who needs to hear this. We all have that one friend who is stressed out trying to keep up. Send them this reality check. And don't forget to comment "freedom over status" below to let me know you've made the commitment to your future self. I read every single comment, and I love seeing the shift in mindset that happens when we finally stop playing the comparison game. In conclusion, remember this. The next time you feel that twinge of envy in the office kitchen, just remember the math they're hiding. Remember the buy now, pay later loans. Remember the parental subsidies. Remember the 84-month car notes. And then remember your own path. Remember your growing net worth, your emergency fund, and the freedom that is waiting for you at the end of this journey. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are simply the only person in the room playing the long game. And in the end, the long game is the only one where the prize is actually worth winning. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and keep building that invisible wealth. The bill for the office illusion is coming due soon, and when it does, you'll be the one with the ability to buy the whole building. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.